Startled, the two northerners split from each other, and Isengrim's magnificent swords flew from the sheath.
You will see. For the river we must take passes through the city.
And they will not let...
They may, if desperate enough.
It appears that your message was received, sir.
Persant said to Isengrim, drawing his attention to the small fleet of vessels that were pouring out of the docks behind them.
Good.
Isengrim said.
But let us not tarry. More speed.
I don't, really. I just don't get paid if you die.
Hello, hello. This is Jed Owen coming from the Blanket Fort. Come in, come in.
The coach shot through the gates, and then they were racing through the Hall of Pillars. There was as yet little traffic on the subterranean roadway, and they met no resistance from the few coaches and carts laden with gooses.
You may rest now.
Isengrim said as he I got nowhere. Got nowhere into that sentence. Soon, the Zitherist priest joined in. The Zitherist priest. The Zitherist priest joined in.
Yeah, so just give us a few.
Do you want like 3 separate just guffaws or just like a ha?
Either or. Yeah, so just vary it up.
His clothes ragged and torn, and his face a mass of bruises and fresh injuries. Who is that?
What the Oh.
Back to some dreary office, or the dockside that stinks of fish?
Eventually. I have some other business to attend to first at the
That Lord Chanticleer's ball.
That Lord Chanticleer's royal ball!
Ah, money.
Hermeline's voice awoke Reynard with a start. One more time, sorry. Burping. Football practice, what? Okay.
You really are a prisoner, aren't you? You really are a prisoner, aren't you? You really... You really are a prisoner! Oh.
Doom!
The eldest of Tisalin's shrieks shriked. What? Okay. Woo!
And the child?
He is dead, Isengrim. They killed him after he...
She could not go on.
I'm mostly trying to not burp in the middle of the line. This is what happens when you have a burrito before recording. That's like my primary acting motivation, just so you both know.
I had a son.
That was fast.
Bruin grumbled as Tubalt Shakur. All right.
Finally, Reynard heard the rumble of the portcullis opening and the steady tread of hobnailed boots as the first of the... No.
Ah, yes, I see. Ah, yes, I see. Ah, yes, I see.
A little more genuine.
That wasn't genuine for you.
Only Ghoul appeared to have been unmoved, acting as though he had never doubted. Got it. Only Ghoul? Gear? Gear.
The mechanical people.
Oh, man.
My people,
Nobel began.
I have seen the green fields of Engladlindin.
The crowd roared with approval.
I have seen the green fields of Engadlin soaked in a sea of blood, while year after year the best of our crops are sent to feed the pale-skinned invaders who hold our northern provinces captive. These men have braved the heart of Calvaria and have entered with our greatest Yup.
No, son, don't leave me, the crone pleaded as she clutched at him. Don't leave me here. Don't leave me here, son. I have to remind you of the past. Okay.
What's in the box? Gold? What's in the box? What's in the box? Gold?
John Doe has the upper hand.
What's in the box? I thought it as soon as I read it.
Persephone cried out with indignation. Persephone cried out with indignation. Persephone. Why, you liar, Persephone cried out with indignation.
And we do need to separate after liar Persephone.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get in the mood.
Okay.
Why, you liar, Persephone cried out with Persephone cried out with Persephone cried out with
At a respectful distance behind the Duke and his standard-bearer rode several squadrons of Arcasian cavalry. I start looking at the words to come, and then I have a stroke. Barcavian brass.
Long live Barcavian.
Who goes there? Cursed rats. I told them them traps was worthless.
It's too far to Prospector. Pull back.
I heard Cookie was making something good on the grill tonight. Probably rats.
Yeah, I think it was. The redheaded guy. Anyway, moving on to the plot. This is where the plot comes in. We're 69 pages into the book.
We're not the fox.
He chucked to himself. What?
Oh, does it say chuck?
Yes.
That is a typo.
Okay. Chuckled?
Yes.
No one. Even us. I mean, we've.
But seeing as we have no idea what that thing is capable of, I suggest we play it quiet. Agreed?
Agreed.
The other men grunted. Then keep your weapon thieved.
As he'd suspected. Suspected. He'd. As he'd suspected. As he'd suspected. As he'd say this. As he'd suspected. As he'd suspected. As he'd suspected. The winch to raise the portcullis would take 2 people to operate.
Reynard asked Grimbart, as the ship maneuvered around the seas. Reynard asked Grimbart, as the city... Reynard asked Grimbart, as the ship maneuvered around the seas. Reynard asked Grimbart, as the ship... Reynard asked Grimbart, as the ship maneuvered around the seas... Hold on.
Reynard replied, and drew his dagger out from under his coat. What? Reynard replied, and drew his dagger from out under his coat. Out of his coat. Mercy. Reynard replied, and drew his dagger out from under his coat.
Drew his dagger from out of his coat.
And drew his dagger from out of his coat. Yes, and drew his dagger from out of his coat. The dagger's in the coat. Stop having a tumor. All right. Reynard replied, and drew his dagger from out of his coat. Please. Reynard replied, and drew his dagger from out under his... No.
It starts sounding amazing.